Hello, welcome to our webinar. We're excited to have you guys here. I'm Rebecca Gonzalez. I'm the CEO of Orange Marketing, and Orange Marketing happens to be a HubSpot agency. And if you see HubSpot referenced in the slides, it's just because that's our point of we use HubSpot a lot and we use it in researching AEO, and they've been at the forefront of AEO. So welcome very much. We have a lot of attendees today. We're kind of super excited to be discussing this. And the reason some of you may wonder, who is Rebecca Gonzalez? What right does she have to talk about AEO? You may be here because of a LinkedIn post that actually went viral, and I am not a person who creates viral LinkedIn posts. But in preparation for this webinar, we have been observing a lot of things and posting about it. And just last week or 2 weeks ago, we posted the fact that we noticed that HubSpot was basically doing link building because they reached out to one of our clients, and the post lost its mind and it ended up with 132,000 impressions. But what is more interesting is the comments. And we encourage you to go click into the comments because the SEO industry is discussing this post and what it means. And it's so interesting. So anyways, if you came in because of this post, don't worry, you're in the right place. We know lots about this, and I'll explain how we got here. So again, we're a top 10 US HubSpot Diamond partner. And the reason we're giving this briefing to B2B marketers is because our organic traffic plummeted in 24 and then in 25. And that's our real organic traffic. It's our actual numbers. And we were literally shocked. We're like, what is going on? And so we're B2B marketers. We have lots of, standard tactics. We don't do SEO for a living. And we're like, but we do it as a practice and we help our B2B friends. And so we started this year just researching the heck out of AEO, figuring out everything we could because we had to help our B2B marketers. And so we've been implementing changes for ourselves. Our clients have been implementing changes. HubSpot's been implementing changes. And we wanted to encourage you and tell you it's too soon for us to declare victory, but we see early signs that suggest we're winning. And that's why we wanted to share this information with you. So this isn't not a lecture on what is AEO, but I'll say it right now. It's called Answer Engine Optimization. And that is sister strategy to SEO, search engine optimization. And it has to do with optimizing your websites and your content for AI visibility. So quick logistics. Of course, you'll get the slides. Of course, you'll get the recording. We'll send it to you afterwards as soon as we can. Use the question and answer panel in the Zoom for your questions. We've left 15 minutes for questions. We can get through this content actually pretty quickly. We've cited all our sources on the lower left-hand side of each slide. So make sure you get the slides and actually click into them down there. So what have you all noticed? These are actual stats. There's been a 47% reduction anytime a Google overview appears in your clicks to your website, and that's what's killed your organic traffic. And the CEO of HubSpot, Yamini Rangan, in September called it a traffic apocalypse. And we had to agree with that alarmist terminology because we saw the exact same thing. And we were a little bit horrified because we work hard on our content and we rely on SEO for getting new contacts into our website and for leads. And so do all our B2B clients. And so we started researching this and we realized that ChatGPT, of course, is the dominant player. We see all of the other ones kind of coming in there, Perplexity, Google AI. We think Google will probably kill it eventually. They've got the money to dominate in this if they feel like it. ChatGPT has first mover advantage. They're doing extremely well. They're definitely the AI engine right now to pay attention to. And AI-driven referrals to top 1,000 global websites is up by the people who measure 357% year over year. That's crazy. So this is a phenomenal change in marketing that has just happened kind of overnight. It's exciting. A lot doesn't change too fast in the world, and sometimes it changes really quickly. So we're happy to be here to give you some tips. The good news, and there's such good news, AI traffic converts. When AI people end up filling out your forms and you identify them that they came from ChatGPT or wherever, those people have been researching. They've been digging around. They've been working in ChatGPT, doing a lot of prompts and queries. Once they come to you, they've pre-qualified themselves. So what we have encouraged our B2B customers is to talk to their sales reps, make sure they identify AI-driven contact form fills to the sales reps and let the sales reps know, hey, these people are farther along. They're down the funnel, as we talk about it in B2B. They're down the funnel. They're more ready to buy than normal. Don't send them to sales development reps. Send them to AEs and realize that they need to skip certain processes in your traditional sales process. They're ready to talk about buying. So these statistics are proven. We've seen them in orange marketing in a little B2B HubSpot agency. We have definitely seen a ChatGPT person come in and basically say, where do I sign? He was already sold. All right, let's get to the tips. So we have 10 AEO tactics you can implement on Monday because, Friday, and in 2026. So let's get started and we'll go through what we've found to be not junk and weird information. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of people selling snake oil. It's sort of a gold rush right now with nonsense. This is the stuff that has bubbled to the surface. It's the stuff we're working on with our customers, and it's straightforward things you can do. So first of all, any of you have checked on AEO, you've heard this over and over and over again. Put the answers first. So AI is looking for solutions. They're looking for context. They're looking for information. They're not searching on keywords. So their customers, the AI's customers, are putting in questions like, how do I find the best B2B HubSpot agency in California? And we want orange marketing to show up there if they ask that question. So you want to make sure you're answering questions. You go deeper with context. You add FAQs at the bottom. This is table stakes. And you'll hear this anytime you read any type of a post about AEO. So we did a 1B because these two go together. It's the FAQ content you keep hearing about over and over again. Every website now, anybody who's on top of this has added an FAQ section to the bottom of their pages. They've added FAQ pages. They are supplementing everything with questions and answers. And we recommend that you put these question and answers in, plain HTML text with proper hierarchy of information. Don't bury it in those little fun like click arounds. We think sometimes you get too clever and people, the AI can't read it. You want AI to read everything very, very easily. So this fact right up here comes from Webflow, which is a really, really good website company. They have been testing and they've got some great content out on AEO. In 3 weeks, by adding FAQs to key pages, they saw their traffic go up from from AI, 8%, and 3,303 clicks, period over period increase. This is a big company with a lot of stuff, but that's a lot of clicks. And then 640 clicks, new clicks from non-branded searches, meaning people put in, what's a good web building product? And somehow their page came up and people click through to them. So that's phenomenal. And they really attribute it to the FAQ pages. So we wanted to put that as your top tip straight up. Format all content for AI. Here's the crossroads of SEO and AEO. Some people will argue out on the internet they're the same. They're not totally the same. SEO was around keywords, AEO is around context and questions. However, they share the common traits of formatting your pages so search engines and AI engines can read it. Very clean, plain spoken pages, more bullet points, more numbered lists called listicles, tables and comparison charts, question-based heading, logical content hierarchy, H1s, H2s that make sense, logical page structure. SEO loved it, AEO loves it. So that is just table stakes as well. This was a surprising one for us, and then it became logical. So a lot of the guides and literature says to make sure you have brand or product summary blocks on each page. And here's an example of what might be a brand a summary block for orange marketing. AI and ChatGPT are sometimes using your content, but if you, and they're getting better about displaying links, frankly, they realized that they were killing all of us. So thank God they're starting to display links now. But if the AI LLMs, large language models, are using your content, you want your company name sprinkled all around in there. And you want to make sure that your company's product or what you are as a brand is on the page so that the AI can pick up on it. It helps them accurately describe your company when they're recommending you. It's super important. They need to know where they are and how they're finding you. You're writing for a robot who's in a big hurry, so don't make them work for it because they can't work for it. So this was recommendations from really good sources all over the place. And it's so obvious when you think about it. But as a marketer, you sometimes don't want to go orange marketing this and orange marketing that and orange marketing the other thing. Overuse your company name and your product names. It's only going to be better for you. Build third-party citations. This is the link building post that went viral for Orange Marketing. What is old is new again. For those of you who have been around the block, me, link building was a thing way back when, where you'd have link exchanges with bloggers and you'd always did press releases and all kinds of things. Well, it's really, really important because AI, ChatGPT, etc., are looking at your brand in context of citations throughout the internet, people pointing to you and saying you're a credible source. So go back to the basics. Maybe, dare I say, hire a little bit of PR or whatever. That the public relations idea of earned media is critical and important. So doing guest blog posts on industry sites and the new media of guest podcast appearances because they're promoting your brand and you. And then I want to address for me, the elephant in the room, which is Reddit, because people are like, Reddit, that's the trick. If I go on Reddit, all of a sudden I'll be cited by ChatGPT. One would think that, be careful. Reddit contributions only if it's appropriate in your brand and your industry, and only if they're genuine and helpful. They have a vicious moderation group, and you will be ripped to shreds if you're a marketer playing games. So obvious as well, but published on AI crawl platforms. Do not take this list as, oh my gosh, I need to be published on these 6 platforms. Go ahead and read the research, Google it, talk to ChatGPT, talk to Claude and say, who do you cite a lot? Ask them because they'll tell you anything. But what is really almost funny is that Wikipedia is cited as a source. It's basically crowdsourced information. YouTube is cited as a source. And then Reddit and Quora are old school community forums, questions and answers. Of course, places like Gartner, Forrester cited as sources, Reuters, news outlets cited as sources. And so there are all these places AI is going to get information that it considers credible already. Get yourself in those places and figure it out. In your own communities, you probably have places that are very interactive. HubSpot has a community forum where people go in and ask questions. You can go in and answer the questions and it will help you. And it is definitely being crawled by the AI. Alt text, what is old is new again. So we haven't paid much attention at Orange Marketing to alt text because we're just not an SEO agency. We're living our lives. alt text back in the day was always considered critical. It's still critical. It's when you have images on your website and you make the alt text about your product or about your company. You're not describing picture of machine on website. You're describing more about what that page is, and you use your alt text in complement to whatever you're talking about on the page. Really important. Full video transcripts. There's mixed feedback on whether AI is as able to ingest videos as effectively as it could. Of course, that'll change. Of course, video will be effective. But there's a real good school of thought that says if you're posting your video on your page, have a link to a full page transcript that the AI can read. Stop it with all the PDFs. Go ahead, have your downloadable PDFs for conversion, but start posting your content to open web pages with table of contents and information hierarchy. Neil Patel, Against the Grain podcast that he was on, which is a HubSpot podcast, referenced HubSpot pillar pages. That was a concept way back when of just building a pillar page of all your, like on a topic. And that's how people would try to get SEO search. Well, it's true for AEO. The two are exactly true together. So what you're doing for SEO works for AEO. And enough about that. Okay, reviews and testimonials. Also, marketing 101. If you have not been working on a review program, get it together. You guys need to be working on getting reviews for your products, for your services. You need them on publicly available spaces, third-party spaces, G2, Capterra, Trust Radius. Google is a big deal. Google My Business is a big deal. Do all the things. Scrape the testimonials and put them on your site in one spot because you never know when, testimonials might disappear, but take them and own them and make sure you have case studies referencing real companies with real data and make sure your customers are putting them out there and publicizing them. And by the way, I just want to random fact here. LinkedIn isn't crawled by ChatGPT or any of them because LinkedIn is a closed platform. We're all working hard on LinkedIn, but know that that content that you're writing, that great content is not feeding AI. So if you write a fabulous LinkedIn post, make sure your content manager also posts it on your blog. Schema markup. I am not going to show pictures. I'm not going to go into details. I hate this. So schema markup is old school. The SEO guys know all about it and they're clapping their hands. So schema markup, I didn't really even pay any attention to it until with AI and AEO, I started hearing about it over and over and over again. So what it is, it's code. It goes into your website somewhere and developers know how to do it, and it's been around for years. Developers know exactly what it is, and it helps search engines, search and AI systems see your content even when your website hasn't been surfaced. So it's labels on your content. The more you label your content, the less AI has to guess. It makes sense, but it's back from the beginning of the web. So there's more there's so much on this, and any dev worth their salt can help you figure this out, but it is important. Here's another weird one, black magic. There's something creeping up called LLMS.txt. For you dev people, you know what a robots.txt is. It was always required to help Google know what to do, which pages to include in search, which pages not to. It was like a little map for Google. LLMS.txt is also the same exact thing. We don't know that it's required. There are a lot of sources saying that it's becoming important and that the AI engines are checking it and utilizing it if they find it. This is a little bit of a bonus tip, and we put it on Orange Marketing, and we just like it for, insurance reasons. Last but not least, you have to track your visibility because this whole thing's going to drive you crazy. if it isn't already driving you crazy. Your visibility fluctuates. It comes in, it comes out. Sometimes you'll show up high, sometimes you'll show low. Josh Grant of Webflow, a high up guy in Webflow, they're tracking this like crazy. They track their own AI references and they say they'll show up and then they'll reappear. So no one understands this yet. We're suggesting you go low fidelity, low fi, and track manually. Basically, a prompt is a question like, what's the best HubSpot agency in California? And I want Orange Marketing to show up there. So I have different questions. What's the best hardware that does this problem? And you want your company to show up there. So figure out these questions, figure out these prompts, think like a customer, and think about your favorite question. It's just like the old keyword game. Think about your favorite questions. Open up ChatGPT, Claude, and whoever else you want, Genesis or whatever, and track where you're placing and do it once a month and see if you can figure it out. In HubSpot has hosting capabilities for websites. They added, well, that doesn't matter. They track all of the website stuff. They added an AI referrer section to all of their metrics. So now we can see what traffic is coming from AI and also what conversions are coming from AI. And it's mind-boggling. It kind of has blown our minds. Whoops. Reality. You'll need to revisit this playbook at least every 6 months, we think. This landscape is changing rapidly. We think what we have provided you are basics, that it's not a waste of time to do these very basic things. The information is getting outdated quickly sometimes. Another thing is you've got to watch your own content. If you have any bad content out there, prune it because it hurts you. Just get rid of it. Don't worry about SEO. And you can have a redirect or something and review your best practices and keep testing your AI visibility. We are watching this space really, really closely. It's our lifeblood. We have to give information to our customers and we have to keep ourselves visible. So as things are changing, we're going to be posting on LinkedIn and on our blog and maybe have another little briefing in 6 months and see what has changed. We wanted to give you some tool tips. So again, with the snake oil, there are some tools on the market selling for tons of money. It is the gold rush. And so more or less, these tools are generic. We don't necessarily have leaders yet. And so don't try to spend as little as possible, but definitely go ahead and try it out. Here's some things we are trying. So this is stuff we're actually trying. HubSpot has a free AEO grader. You can check that out. They also bought an AEO company and it's called xfunnel.ai. And I thought, great, I now know the company where I should be doing my prompt testing with. Oh, no, I don't, because all of the links to buy their tool are gone as HubSpot absorbs the technology. So that'll be coming soon to HubSpot, we hope. AI Trust Signals. It's a neat little tool, super cheap, gives you like $10 a month and gives you a comprehensive report on your site. They give you a grade that they've made up. Yay, we like grades. And if you do things they say, your grade improves. And we've been playing around with that. They spotted some stuff on Orange Marketing that we had overlooked and we implemented it and we think things are getting better. They give you a lot of things to do, so you have to take it easy. We have some dev friends that we really love. Helpful Hero wrote a tool called Super Schema, and if you happen to have a HubSpot website, it helps you generate the schema and then it'll inject it into your HubSpot on the right page. And I'm like, thank you. So that's an amazing thing. It's brand new. We've been playing around with it. It was only just out of beta like 3 weeks ago. So all of this stuff is happening even as we speak. We have another dev guy we love. He's our best friend. He named his company Fresh Juice after Orange Marketing, we think. And he has an LLMS generator, which will generate a standardized LLMS.txt file from your website map or URL list that you can then apply to your website. His tool came out of beta, over the weekend. So, watch these things that you're using, but they're everywhere. Um, SEO tools, all the SEO tools out there like SEMrush, Ahrefs, all of them, they now track AI prompts and keywords. They're charging a lot of money. SEO tools is charging $100 a month. Pardon me, SEMrush is charging $100 a month to get AI on your AI prompt information on your site. Depending on your budget, it may be worth it. We love this one tool called Scrunch AI. We're not recommending it. It's $300 a month. So it's great. If you've got that kind of budget, go for it. But like I said, these things are overpriced right now because they don't have a lot of good competitors. There is a really cool link here to all the AEO tools. So you can kind of look through it, look at your budget, and see what you've got there. Okay, measuring success. Here are the ways you measure success. Your brand mention rate, as we mentioned, you've got to go lo-fi. Probably you can track it by hand. You don't have to buy the fancy tools. Track your brand mentions out on ChatGPT, Perplexity, etc. So do that. Conversion metrics, track your website visits, track your conversion metrics from AI. If you don't have a question on your forums, if you primarily get your leads from forums, add a question, where did you hear about us? Because guess what? Even though it looks like pay-per-click traffic, even though it looks like direct traffic, even though it looks like organic search traffic, it's not. They're out there on another window researching your company. They turn to a different window and put your company name in. You're not going to get the attribution on top of everything else. So make sure you ask for it. And that's what is happening in orange marketing. I see direct traffic so many times in the forum, it says ChatGPT. So it's really important that you make that change. And content performance metrics, once you're starting to get a feel for this, your content that's driving AI traffic, double down. Make sure it has every possible conversion CTA that you can have. So your Monday morning action plan, are you totally overwhelmed yet? Have I just blown your minds? Start with one thing. Don't try to implement everything everywhere all at once, or you'll drive yourself and anyone who works with you absolutely insane. So if you happen to have HubSpot, turn on AI referrers tracking in your HubSpot. It is not automatically on, which cracks us up. It came up as another source, but you have to click on it for it to show. We're like, where is it? And then we realized it wasn't on. Add a FAQ sections to your most visited website pages. Figure out which website pages are driving your traffic and get FAQ sections. No, figure out your website pages that have a lot of SEO traffic because that's what you've got right now and add FAQ sections to them. Add the brand summary blocks to at least your top 10 pages. You have to do that. So those are the things you need to do right away and they will help you right away. And I think, if memory serves, we are at questions and discussion. So very excited to take your questions now. I'm going to come off of screen share if I can figure it out. And here I am. So do we have any questions?
Yes, we have one from Paul in the chat. He's wondering how important the quality is of the writing in relation to the 10 tactics that you suggest.
We think the quality is really important. We think the chat is pretty darn smart, even though it hallucinates for to all of us all the time. We think quality is important, and that's all we'll say on that. It's important.
Okay, great. Nicole is um, referencing the second to last slide, and
Okay.
she is wondering if you could expand on how to use ChatGPT to track brand mentions,
Yeah.
track whether
Yes.
they show up.
Yeah, no, that's not obvious. So I think we put some links down there. It is total when we say lo-fi, we mean it. And this is when your CEO complains to you and he says, "Why aren't we the top 10 searched thing on Google?" He's going to turn around, he or she will turn around and say, "I went into ChatGPT and I asked him this and we never showed up." And it's the same thing like that. It's humans just trying it. So you have a process where you write your prompt down, your questions. I I make screwdrivers that only work on Maseratis or whatever. Where do I find these things or whatever? Whatever your question is, you write them down in an Excel spreadsheet, you put months across the top, and you go into ChatGPT and you type your question in and you see if you show up. And you're like, boo, I don't show up. And you do this across a couple of chats and you track if your brand gets mentioned in the answers back from ChatGPT. Not to storytell too much, but we had a customer come in on ChatGPT and it was referenced as ChatGPT right when we were starting this project. And I asked if he would go on the phone with me and show me his questions. And we videoed it and we turned around and used his questions. It was eye-opening. And I about fell off my chair when he asked his final question. And ChatGPT says there's 3 or 4 thousand agencies in the United States. ChatGPT says orange marketing. And then he called me. And I'm like, what is happening? I hope that helps. And I'd be happy to help more.
Great, thank you. We have another one from Tyler. He says, obviously, AI isn't going anywhere and is only going to grow bigger. In your opinion, when the hype settles, do you think AI will make a positive, negative, or no difference in impact for businesses versus traditional marketing that we all know?
I'm positive. Of course I'm positive. So we just move with the times. It is here. It doesn't even matter what I think. It's just here. And as marketers, any marketer out there would be lying if they said AI has not changed their lives. Marketers especially, we were like, what is this magic? So we were very, very excited. I think it's positive and we'll adapt. We'll figure this out.
Okay, we have a question from John. He asks, how do I enable AI referrals as an original source in HubSpot? I am not seeing the settings for some reason.
I you're right. So I want to screen share so bad, and I just don't trust myself in this situation. So what it is like if you're looking at a traffic report, you go into reports traffic, and you're pulling up your traffic, and you look at the sources down the left-hand side, you'll see that AI refers is unchecked automatically. It's insane. I should write a LinkedIn post and complain, but HubSpot, I think I've got a special note about my complaints on LinkedIn from HubSpot. So, anyways, I hope that helps you a little bit. And maybe I can do a video and just publish that somewhere and just show you and put it on LinkedIn. I'll write that down. Good question. It's not obvious.
Okay. We have a question. How long will it take to see results from AEO? How quickly can we take action for this?
In the Webflow study that they did, they saw results in 3 weeks. They're a massive company, massive credibility, massive visibility. Do I think it will? Can I predict the same success for us tiny people? I don't know. We hope 1 to 3 months, honestly, and they say the FAQ pages are the quickest way there.
Okay, that leads into this next question. How do you go about developing the questions that you want to rank for?
Oh, terrifying question. So the way you do it is you we called our customer and said, show us your questions. If you have a sales team, they have sales calls. You could ingest their transcripts into Chat or Claude and ask it, what kind of questions are these people asking? I would do that. I would definitely do that. If you have a decent, not decent, but if you have a customer success function or a support function, um, they get questions. Ask them, you want all their questions. So all these customer sources of questions are a great way to go. And then ask your salespeople for their gut instincts. So you kind of just, you go guerrilla warfare, you hunt it down.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Someone's asking, is it still worth investing in SEO or should we shift our budget to AEO?
Ooh. I think there's SEO people on the phone. The SEO people are rapidly becoming AEO people. So I think you talk to your SEO people and say, "What are you doing about this? How are you helping me with AEO? Let's make sure we're covering all our bases." We think you more to be responsible, you need to be checking both arts, sciences, whatever you want to call it, but they work together. Anything else?
Let's see. Question here. Should we change our messaging to appeal more directly to AI instead of humans?
Yes. So, in a way. So AI likes very clear info. The robots like clear information, bullet points, not long blocks of boring text. They like to see there's a question and there's these answers, or there's this subject and there's these answers, and this is how it all feeds together. It's called information hierarchy back in the old days. And I think humans like it too. So I think by writing for robots, you'll be simplifying your language a bit and you'll be writing for humans as well. Everybody's just consuming content really rapidly, and the clearer we can be, um, kind of like if any of you like me studied journalism, it's very, very clear communication.
Okay, great. Nicole is asking, what are some things you could recommend to marketers looking to stay relevant and defend against job replacement by AI?
Oh, how can AI replace marketers? We're awesome. So the thing is, in marketing, we're using AI. All of us are using it to create our content, to do research. I use it like I never have used it before, used any tool before, where even to work on this webinar for you guys, I was capturing every source I could find, everything I was reading, everything I was listening to, putting it into Claude and interacting with Claude about, what are the tips bubbling to the surface. I mean, it just supplements our research, helps us stay up on things, helps us with our content, helps us with our analysis. Marketers still make the choices of where to spend the money and how to spend the time. I just, you cannot, I'm sorry, we're irreplaceable. That's how I feel.
Okay, Paul is saying that the challenge in writing is sometimes that writing for AI, or sorry, the challenge of writing for AI is that it can be repetitive. Answer
Yeah.
to one question may come up more than once. So it works for AI and not so much for human readers. What are your thoughts on that?
I think you're right. Um, I think you're right because the same question gets answered 13 different ways. I think by putting FA, so you could still do it, you still should do it. You could have these boring long format FAQ pages linked from different places, where you're testing out multiple answers to questions. And the FAQ sections at the bottom of your site, maybe you put, maybe when it's part of your site content, you highlight your most reasonable normal answers. But I don't have a good answer to that because I'm not a scientist on this, and it is a drag and it is repetitive.
Okay. I am not seeing any more at the
No more
moment.
questions. Is there anything in the chat we haven't addressed? Or are you guys catching that? I'm not in everything right now.
Yeah, most of the questions are coming through the
Okay,
chat.
cool. Oh, good. Good for you guys. So, anyways, that's the end, and that's the end of our content. We're going to get the slides and the video to you for you to share with your senior leadership, so they'll understand why you're not showing up in ChatGPT and what kind of an investment you guys need. And we're staying on top of this because it matters to us. Oh, I'm going to answer that question. I just saw it. FAQs, we don't think you should do accordion. We have done some research and we eliminated accordion from our site. It's an opinion, but that's what we think. You keep it really straightforward. Anyways, we're continuing with our research. When I get new research or fun information, I definitely post it on LinkedIn. We try to add it to our blog. And then we'll, at least to the people who attended this webinar, we'll make sure that if we do any updates or if there's anything crazy changing, that we'll publish it. Oh, one more question. I saw it. Tips on getting reviews. We may have a whole blog post on this. Orange Marketing is an expert at getting reviews. We have over 140 five-star reviews in the HubSpot directory, and we were early in with that. You need a program in the sense that you need someone in charge, and that person needs to be talking to other people about what are the closed jobs that are done with happy customers, and they go out and ask for the reviews. And I do it myself because it makes money for Orange Marketing. It would be best if you got a senior executive as your accomplice in this task. And I think they'll enjoy getting the positive feedback. It's very rewarding to get positive reviews about your team. All right. I am going to be respectful of your guys' time. We're going to shut it down. You're going to get an email with the content and it has these good links in it. It'll be my email address. If you have more questions, go ahead and just ask them and I'll answer them to the best of my ability. Also, give us feedback about this whole thing. We really wanted to bring this to marketers. And I know there's all kinds of people on this webinar, but we really just feel for the marketers who are having to do a massive pivot, and we wanted to bring our research to them. So we wish you all happy holidays. We are racing towards the end of the year. And thank you so much for coming to our webinar. We're really, really pleased at the attendance and turnout. So everybody take care and thank you so much. Bye-bye.